one. King Spike Oreo. They have three really hard skins. We just.
Alrighty, my little pog champs, and welcome back to EGFC Season 3, week number 4, if I'm not mistaken. I am Duramgo, coming to you live with my lovely, incredible co-caster, Fan9S, the one and only. How are you doing today, Sean?
Doing good, a little tired, but we're here for some more awesome Smash action today. We've got Rider University versus Niagara University. Gonna be two schools that have been doing pretty okay, I'd say so far. Rider recently had some issues, but I think they navigated through them, which is good. With internet, regarding their internet, and Niagara, I'm trying to see how they did last week. It seems like last week, actually, they unfortunately had to play Siena College, who kind of blew them out a little bit. So, looking for a little bit of redemption today in both of these teams. We're just going to be seeing it. We're going to have Swizzle versus Crispy starting us off right here. And we got ourselves Kirby versus Crom. How do you feel about that matchup?
If I'm Crom, I'm like, damn, I'm feeling pretty good. All that you need is like a couple of good hits, a couple of good wins in neutral, and then you get Kirby off stage. That's all it takes, because, you know, the way that Kirby is forced to recover a lot of times can be in really exploitable ways against Crom. But right now, the biggest thing, like hitting somebody so small, it's like, how do you actually get that big initial hit? But wow, can't be double jumping back on. Roy's and Croms love doing that.
Yeah, it's one thing, like, you're blessed with so much airspeed and mobility that you can't help but use it to, like, kind of navigate yourself through situations, but if anything, you have to be more of a controlled beast when it comes to stuff like that, especially against Kirby, too, a character who you kind of have to respect while landing just a little bit, and that Kirby's pretty good grounded. You know, we got excellent tilts to trip up, decent grab game to aid in, like, early combos and stuff like that. A good Kirby is nothing to scoff at, as we've seen with Kirby such as J-Jaw.
But right now, look how Crispy is just like dominating the stage right now. Oswizzle has barely been able to get in, especially out of the corner. Oswizzle just sort of not really like recognizing all the space that Kirby can cover. And what a down B. I think that was an excellent decision, because up B, there is like no risk of getting spiked or hit whatsoever. Either you hit it or you don't, right? But at least you're not going to die for it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, God. This is like a spot that you do not want to see Kirby players in. Kirby players, I feel like, are so beaten down by the tier of their character. They all know how to do at least a couple cool combos on the ground as well. So you have to kind of respect that quite a bit. You got to respect that.
It's survival of the fittest. The environment forces you, you know, to find ways to adapt and to overcome. And, you know, what we have now are all the Kirbys that are left with the ability just to combo people into oblivion, especially a fast follower like Crom. You can be taking so much damage. What an F smash. This is going to be an up B. Crispy, I like the fact that they're just not messing with the up B at all, not risking getting spiked, just focusing on the ledge trap.
Oh, I was gonna say that's a free punish right there. If you're going on a hard read last stock at kill percent just to try and get that stock off, it's probably not gonna pan out too well for you. And man, that's a 3 stock to start off this crew battle right here. So it's a little worrisome, you know. Ryder already getting a fat 3 points on the board. We've seen how detrimental these early leads can really be to these other crews. And
I just realized we have replays back.
Yes,
Let's go. I'm so
back.
Happy. I missed them so much. But do we have access to the replay controller? Is the question.
I'm gonna say no on that one.
Not for today. So only replays for today. But that's okay. We'll see little doodles next time.
Little doodles. But man, what a commanding first game right there from Ryder. I mean, if you're starting out hot on the gate like that, you know, having a strong player to start off with is never a bad thing, because it can make the comeback insurmountable towards the later phases of this crew battle. And that's already more points on the board than Niagara University had last week. So I mean, these are pretty groundbreaking movements they're making right now.
For sure. I'm like really thinking about this. I feel like Kirby is not a matchup that you can, in this game, I feel like, go blind into. There is just, you need to have a good fundamental understanding of what makes Kirby not so good in a lot of situations, especially in this kind of a matchup. And really, a lot of it boils down to how does Kirby initiate? How does he approach? How does he find his hits? And the answer is not particularly easily, and only when you overcommit. When you're playing Chrom in this kind of a matchup, there really is no reason that you should be, necessarily pushing in a little bit too far. You should be jumping into Kirby's immediate area of effect because he's slow, he's small,
He's round. Easily punchable, kickable.
I don't understand how those are relevant details to the analysis,
Squishy.
but yes.
He can transform into stuff. He's rotund.
I'm glad. Yep. Basically, you shouldn't interact with him. You have no reason to. You're Chrom. You're
Never,
so fast.
if Kirby tries to holler at you, just ignore him. Hey, Chrom! How's it going? Kirby, I don't know that guy. Sorry. Don't talk to him. You don't have to respect him. He's a low tier. What does he know? Nothing.
That's
just
how
camp
you
him.
camp. That is how you camp in this game. You just run away from people. That's all you gotta do sometimes. Kirby doesn't have a projectile. He doesn't have any immediate quick burst options other than dash attack, which is a commitment and a half. So unless you are actively losing neutral often, Kirby will never find those big combo hits.
It's true. And, staying in the air and using your good spacing tools, I feel like as a sortie is more than critical for not getting hit in these matchups. If you've got the lead, Chrom has enough ground speed and airspeed to really establish hard space to where Kirby is now forced to start doing overcommitments. You can get at least trades if you're not getting fat hits on him. Or nice out of shot punishes.
That's exactly what I mean about a commitment. Oswizzle immediately ran into Crispy just up being in place. Look at all the damage that Crispy was able to already put onto the board and just get Oswizzle stuck in the corner. That's exactly. You really couldn't ask for anything else.
It's true. All right, the big F smash coming from Swizzle right there, and I like this. Playing a little bit more safely this time around, not committing as much. But again, these double jumps on the stage are getting no mileage. You have to just commit to Chrom's recovery. Sometimes he does have mix-ups, especially on a stage like Kalos where you're counter picking to. You have platforms to retreat to. You don't have to burn your double jump that early to find your way back. The ledge is there. Chrom has an amazing air dodge, at least to get him out of certain situations sometimes.
I also feel like Oswizzle doesn't always know the range that the up B is going to occupy, snap onto the ledge. Chrom has a good amount of movement with up B that you still wouldn't expect, but you just need to hold in on it, and you don't have to initiate it from so far away.
It's true. You can also wait to drift forward. It does have a good amount of vertical on it. Sweet spotting it from pretty deep off stage is not the most difficult thing to do. Oh my god, Crispy swinging for the fences, and yes, it does hit below ledge. Oh my god, Crispy with the 6 stock to open us up here today. It's gonna be a fat 8 points going on the board for Ryder to start off this crew battle. Oh my god.
Look at this little guy. Look at this little guy. What's he gonna do?
No, sorry. Niagara. Niagara has the 8 points here. The scores are switched. Swizzle is on Ryder, and Crispy is on Niagara, actually. So that's
I see.
That's some wild stuff.
Wow. Okay, that was
wild. Any criticism for the good lad Swizzle coming out of that? Because there's only improvement from there I'd see. From that, honestly.
The biggest thing is just acknowledging, not even just matchup wise, but also being able to play a little bit of your game. Understand what am I looking for at 0%, at mid%? What am I looking for as Chrom typically? But then also a really, really big thing, holding onto your double jumps, right, as Chrom. Because if you're constantly double jumping back on, that is your most vital resource that you cannot give away unless you're absolutely sure that it is going to do something for you. Right? Yeah. So by constantly double jumping back onto the stage, all that, Kirby needed to do is just knock him off, and then that was it.
It's quite unfortunate too, because I could see there were some improvements that Swizzle was making throughout their gameplay. I just feel like Crispy knew what to look out for in terms of those bad habits, those double jumps to stage, or using really everything in Kirby's toolkit. Like the up B. That was a fantastic up B edge guard earlier because it caught the double jump nicely. Swizzle kind of freaked out and was like, I have to up B here right now or else I won't make it back, and ended up actually spelling their own doom right there. So, just take it a little bit slower. I feel like it's very important to know how to play slow with fast characters, if that makes any sense. Just learn to rein it in, because you have so many tools at your disposal. You forget that often that you can use those tools just as well defensively as you can offensively. So just, you know, take that into consideration and see what happens from there.
Absolutely. But with that being said, we're going to cut to a quick little break as we decide our next two plays and where we will be headed. So don't go anywhere quite yet, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Hello, my little PogChamps, and we're back from a slight intermission. We have a long day ahead of us. We got a bunch of schools coming up, and we're in it for the long haul, so expect a good amount of those breaks moving forward. We see Fang over here vibing, jamming out, having a good time. Look at him go. Look at those moves.
This is the patented white man move, basically. If you're white and you have no idea what to do, just bob up and down. Look at this. Damn.
I just realized that is exactly the same thing that I do.
Hey, you know what? It happens. Sometimes you don't know a dance move, or like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna hit the shoot dance in the middle of like a party, bro? You're gonna end up taking someone's shins out, bro. All right? You can start breakdancing? I don't think so. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of breakdancing, Niagara University is breakdancing their way into an even bigger lead than ever before, off of their first set against Ryder.
That's my favorite commentator right there. That was an amazing transition, Sean. I'm so proud of you, dog.
Haha,
amazing
breakdances.
We have
Ryder coming up next, Star.
Niagara University. I believe we're going to be seeing Majestic from Ryder University going up against Boshi Cooper.
Probably a Bowser player.
Anybody with Cooper, you know it's going to be like Bowser Jr. All of them.
Boshi Koopa plays DK and Bowser, so we're gonna be seeing. In fact, Niagara has like two Bowsers. There's two Bowser players on this roster that I'm seeing right here. Either way, though, they're looking to redeem themselves. from last week's performance against Sienna, which is honestly a really crushing team to fight against. So, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and maybe looking for success here against Ryder. And
Yeah,
eight points is a pretty big lead to start it off with, if I do say so myself.
Oh, wait a second. I think we might have messed up again.
We goofed.
We did a little goofskis.
The double goof swap.
It seems like we actually mixed up on the points a little teeny tiny bit. It was Ryder University that got the 8 points. It was Swizzle the Kirby. Was Swizzle the Kirby? And Crispy was the
Swizzle was the Kirby, which makes more sense. I feel like Swizzle is definitely more of a Kirby player tag than Crispy.
I don't know what that means, but I'll just have to take it.
You just see certain players having certain tags, for their character. Like, for instance, every Nest player has PK in their gamer tag for some reason. Barring
Not me.
the
Not
more
us.
intellectual, creative Nest players. Such as you and I, Dar.
That's right. If anybody in chat plays Nest and doesn't have PK before you tags,
or Psy or Psychic or some other stuff. Thank you so much, Devin. We appreciate Devin around here. What would PK Fang sounds kind of hard, not gonna lie.
PK Duramgo. Think about it this way. So a typical way that I would abbreviate and chop up my tag would be Dara Mgar, right? So the actual initials of all of that just become DMG. PK DMG is kind of sick.
Dara Megan Gar.
I don't know where Megan came from, but you know what?
M. What does the M stand for? We don't know, dude. Either way, though, we got Majestic and Bashi Koopa. Bashi Koopa going DK out here. In this matchup, I feel like Heavies versus Mega Man tend to struggle just a little bit, but the punish game, I feel like, is pretty good.
It's going to be pretty big, but really the biggest issue is going to be how do you get in, right? Because Majestically, as Mega Man, the biggest thing is you want to be constantly poking and poking and poking, constantly keeping them away. I feel like this could be such a big punish for Majestic right now, and look at it, 47%, and more importantly, that's Bashi Koopa off stage.
I like that Majestic has been opting just to toss Bashi Koopa off stage, which is where DK's at his weakest, in my opinion. His recovery is very linear. I feel like a character like Mega Man that has so many ways to deal with recoveries, especially as linear as Donkey Kong's. Even that move right there is perfect. Because Donkey Kong's big. If he picks the wrong get-up option from ledge, he's going to be finding himself hurting. Or just lingering on ledge too long. That hitbox is deceptive.
Yeah.
And where it hits.
We love talking about timing mix-ups at ledge, but once again, at a certain point, you start running out of options against ledge trappers that focus on setup-based play, especially Mega Man. So sometimes you need to know the situation and know what your options are that you can mix between. But with that being said, Majestic right now, such a huge lead for themselves, getting off of the ledge successfully, fighting their way back on. This is looking so good for them.
It seems like already I'm detecting that Bashi Koopa knows what DK's good tools are, like that down B. The thing is -4, I believe, falling on shield. You can parry it, but it's actually pretty hard to punish if spaced adequately. It's just the placement of where Bashi Koopa has been using these moves, because Majestic's kind of just been whiff punishing everything, while Bashi Koopa's been kind of just fishing a little bit for these big confirms, which DK has. DK's advantage state is probably one of the best in the entire game, honestly. This character's a menace when it comes to pushing his advantage.
I really like the recovery mix-up and the side B coming in so clutch. It was such a good trade because it gave Majestic the opportunity just to live another day. That second one was not it, but now look at this. Bashi Koopa stuck at the ledge again, trying to find a way to jump back on. I like the fact that Majestic backed off a little bit, gave them a bit of space.
And you can tell Majestic does not want to drop this third stock. We've seen a complete shift in their gameplay at this point. Oh my god, I cannot believe that beat the up B out right there. That was very, very fortunate for Majestic right there. Now, Bashi Koopa kind of approaching kill percent somewhat. If Majestic wins one more interaction and gets him off stage, this should be it. Oh no!
Should have been it, but a little bit of a funky interaction. I guess Mega Man's still a bit heavy. And speaking of hanging onto the ledge a little bit too long, Majestic not accounting for the F smash hitting below.
Yeah, I think Majestic wanted to play a little reactionary there, but ended up just waiting way too long for the hit. And yeah, some moves you won't know if they'll hit below ledge or not, typically. And some characters, not all ledge hangs for characters are created equally. So I feel like a character like Mega Man, probably not the greatest ledge hang.
Yeah. Some of them are better than others. Donkey Kong was specifically one of the worst, but good for Majestic, just recognizing DK was out of options. At that point, he had to do nothing else but up B. That was pretty clean. That was how you play Mega Man DK.
Oh yeah, for sure. I like how Majestic would opt to back off in a lot of sketchy situations for themselves. What an edge guard, too. I feel like most Mega Man players would wait on stage to just do down air, but I love the run-off fair, just recognizing, hey, maybe this guy's not going to get back to stage as quickly as he could have been. Oh, God. Oh, what happened to the replay?
I thought it's just going frame by frame. At that point, if Mega Man just ran down and like threw out a floater, like it would have been able to hit like under Donkey Kong, right? Or if Donkey Kong like opted to go for like a later up B and still go there, either way, the up B hitbox would not have touched Mega Man presumably, right? Because that is just how good that situation is, and that's how quick and all covering Mega Man floater is. So just good recognition for Majestic that Bashi was out of options.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and just nice edge guarding all around. I feel like Majestic knew exactly what they wanted through a lot of these interactions in terms of just forcing DK off stage consistently. Like that is one of the moments where he's at his weakest. I love that though. Recognition on Bashi Koopa to get that edge guard right there. Really solid.
Yeah. So going into game 2, this is going a little bit better than like the first set that we had, but I feel like once again there was this really big issue of like understanding what Mega Man wants and what is Mega Man particularly looking for a lot of the times. It's a hard matchup. It is DK Mega Man, but it's also recognizing like what few openings does Mega Man give you. When he has Leaf Shield out, you run up and try to shield that. You'll probably get a punish because he is stuck in a lot of N lag. Or, there's like a small like gap in the lemons that he throws out after he throws out like 3 projectiles.
Yeah, so you just have to know when your windows of punish are essentially on Mega Man, and he does have gaps. Like there's a lot of projectile pressure he can throw out in Leaf Shield and Crash Bomber and even just his lemons as Dara just mentioned. So just looking for those little windows of opportunity, I feel like would maximize Bashi Koopa's punish game excellently.
Yeah, so going into game number 2, I would opt for a stage with a little bit more open space. The reason why I don't think PS2 is like really good because, Mega Man Majestic just sort of gets to hide under the platform a little tiny bit, makes it difficult for DK to jump in. Going to a stage like Kalos, like FD, like Town and City, where you don't necessarily have those side platforms that close to the ground, I feel like is going to be the best choice.
It depends on the matchup a lot of the time because you can't really just default to certain stages all the time. Like, for example, in a matchup like Mega Man DK, DK is normally a monster on stages like PS2. But in matchups where characters tend to play more anti-grab than others, maybe other stages would opt better. You kind of have to break out of your comfort zone just a little bit sometimes with these stages.
You got to be comfortable on any stage. You got to be adaptable. You got to be ready for anything. And you got to be ready to play around the matchup. So I'm curious to see what's going on in the captain's chat, see what they're deciding. Looks like they might be opting to go for the character switch.
Potentially. Bashi Koopa also has a Bowser. Just in terms of tier list placement, I think Bowser's automatically a better pick than DK, just by virtue. I mean, you're still suffering from the same weaknesses as a heavy player against Mega Man, but you have more speed to work with. You can get in there easily. Fair is a great tool. Flamethrower is a great tool at ledge. You can be a little more execution testy when your opponent's hitting your shield unsafely as Bowser. So I definitely don't disagree with this counter pick if those are the 2 characters in your arsenal.
I'm curious also how Bowser's like tough guy comes into play in this matchup because I feel like it could be like pretty relevant in some key points. But once again, that side B is going to be such a huge opening. Love that patience for the Majestic just sitting in shield knowing it's going to inevitably detonate and be able to get back to the stage.
Majestic, I feel like the recipe for success here is similar to how it was game 1 as well. Just play keep away on Bowser the entire time. Don't let him hit you, but keep hitting him from a distance and just respecting, the mobility and burst options he does have at his disposal.
So it does seem like Bashi Koopa's like getting hit by the up air, but like not getting sent anywhere. Instead, just like getting gently pushed up. That looks pretty interesting. I haven't actually seen that interaction before, but now it's gonna be Majestic looking for a way to be able to get this hit, but landing with down is such a good opening.
Okay, and I like these little recovery mix-ups as well. Bowser ledge trapping and just 2-framing is pretty good. F-tilt's a fantastic tool as well, along with flamethrower. So being able to mix up your recovery to just escape these situations where you can potentially get coin flipped, really, really good.
Oh, setting up that side B, locking them into shield, and then runs up and up smashes. I believe even if Bashi Koopa sat in shield, that would have shield poked.
You see Bashi Koopa just looking for this win condition right here, just looking for this fair or potentially a side B to really get this stock off of Majestic. But Majestic doing such a good job of staying evasive right now.
That should be the opening. You can't immediately default to the fastest out of shield option because the hitbox might not be long enough to reach where Leaf Shield was. That being said, beautiful edge guard for Majestic, with a very, very slight lead right now, so just needs to play super carefully.
There you go, and that Hearthbox shifting on that F tilt there, going to be taking off this stock right here. A lot more even than we were seeing last game. I think Majestic has been a little bit more aggressive in picking their openings this time around, just because with DK, he can wall out a little bit, and you kind of have to respect that range a bit. With Bowser, you mostly just have to outplay him and beat him in this rock, paper, scissors. You know, he's a very simple character to deal with, but his tools are very, very scary to deal with sometimes.
I like this just patient keep away game for Majestic. Just not going to center, just like constantly jumping in, jumping out, fading in and out, getting the back throw for a bit of stage. This could be the edge guard.
Oh, and he edge guards himself?
Sure is.
Oh, man. Oh, that's great. Good usage of the down throw right there, kind of transfer the crash bomb on impact. Because it is, I believe, one of Bowser's longest throws in terms of hang time. So it allows the crash bomber to time itself out just a little bit there.
I like the patience from Bashi Koopa, but that spacing on the side B was so unfortunate. But even more unfortunate was that up B, and it's going to be ending up SDing the last and final stock.
Pretty unfortunate cut there for Bashi Koopa. I felt they were playing that a little bit better than the DK game went. But you have to make sure, that was 2 SDs right there. You have to make sure you're able to make it back from these interactions a lot of the time and just nail those recoveries, because it's often telling of your composure if you're pressing buttons willy-nilly or trying to do something off stage that isn't exactly the safest.
There was one critical error on behalf of Bashi Koopa that it's like a really big like matchup check when it does come to Mega Man, and that's like being able to punish Leaf Shield, right? Because Leaf Shield is a little bit interesting in that if Mega Man is holding an item or he has an item near him, he can like cancel the end lag of Leaf Shield with an item toss or an item pickup, right? So in that case, there is no item, there is no Metal Blade around, so Mega Man was stuck in all that end lag. Bashi Koopa opted to go for the quickest option, which is an up B out of shield, but the hitbox was not long enough to reach. You have enough time to be able to sometimes just release your shield, turn around and grab. You have enough time just to release your shield and F tilt sometimes too. You just need to go for whatever is going to connect, not for whatever is fastest, because there is a generous enough window.
And yeah, it's definitely some things to take to heart right there in the matchup. Rider University going to be extending their lead ever so further against Niagara University. And so this next set might be do or die for Niagara within this set. Being down 14-0 with only 2 sets down. Pretty brutal. But in the meantime, we are going to shoot over to a quick break. So we'll see you guys real soon.
Hello video gamers, and we're back from a 30-second break, so this time around was not too long at all. We're going to be seeing Poncho from Rider University going up against EGFC from Niagara.
Oh yeah. And ooh, okay, we got our first Sora sighting out here on part of Niagara University. So pretty new character, so you can shock some people up with your matchup knowledge just a little bit. And what a fitting matchup for Sora to be on here, as we see Cloud out here and on deck. I'm sure every commentator has made that joke already a million times, but
I know nothing about Final Fantasy. I know nothing about Kingdom Hearts, so I'm gonna be the one that will never do that. So I feel like, especially though, as Cloud, with just the pressure of being able to charge limit, you have no incentive to really go in this kind of a matchup. You can constantly play keep away, but what a catch on the double jump. Jenny X EGFC losing their first off.
And that's a pretty befitting lead already. Like Cloud, I feel like characters with great speed on their side definitely do quite well against Sora, just by nature of how floaty he is. Also, by virtue of just how not much burst damage he has. It's kind of insane because Sora can get these little interactions where he gets some damage out, but as opposed to like getting these long strings that could potentially put you in really threatening situations, we haven't really seen that caliber of Sora play just yet.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's always going to be like that little bit of time where people don't always know the matchup. They're still trying to figure out how they want to be playing Sora as well. So hopefully in a couple of weeks, we'll start to see the development of the Sora meta. But with that being said, really good up smash into up air, just capitalizing on Sora's floatiness. Poncho just going in.
And I'm liking these whiff punishes, you know, in side B, really great whiff punish tool. They all the moves can really link concurrently as well. In a lot of situations, you really won't be finding anyone air dodging out of those side B combos unless it one of them wasn't aimed like super duper well.
Yep.
But if you get the concurrent homing attack ones, you should be able to get all three as your punish.
Poncho is like jumping a lot in reaction or in response to side B. That's just, when you see that for side B, you don't need a full hop. You just can sit there and shield, and chances are you're gonna be able to either find a punish or you just reset the situation. So Poncho's just like getting a lot of callouts. Or Jenny is rather.
Oh boy. This should be a big punish right here. Okay, good. Jenny actually gonna be dropping shield just a little bit right here. We see Poncho back at it. That's going to be a massive punish right there with that cross slash. Really, really well played right there.
Yep, there it is. Instead of jumping, they just sat there, they sat shield a little bit longer, and then found the punish immediately afterwards.
Because a lot of Sora's moves aren't really like super plus on block or like really good on shield. Like a lot of the moves you can whiff punish him for, you just have to have a bit of patience, because more often than not, most Sora players are going to go for multi-hits and not really stutter their approaches whatsoever. And this is just giving Poncho so much mileage.
But the biggest thing, like as a floaty, it's so difficult to even get in the position to be able to time a safe falling aerial on somebody's shield, because by that time you're in the animation, it's like a whole second past.
Right.
Before you can do like that latest, safest spacing, right? But beautiful jump call out from Poncho. Going to be a clean 2-stock in game number 1. I feel like there's a lot of commitments to side B that just ended up getting punished.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100% in that falling aerials are not really a floaty's best friend. You know, by virtue of the character, most of their moves are going to be better within Rising, but a lot of what makes Sora good are a lot of falling aerials or stuttered movements on, like we've seen a lot of loops people have been utilizing already. It's just about controlling the behemoth that is Sora's movement, because he has a very high full hop. He's very, very floaty, almost made to like kind of operate more in the air as opposed to on the ground.
Yeah.
Also, his projectiles, you only really have to respect one or two of them. In that Blizzard and that Thunder, I believe the Thunder is pretty safe on shield if it does hit. Sora's can not act out of it quickly, but it locks you in shield for longer than you can get out of it to punish with.
The biggest thing, it's really hard for Sora to actually honestly and cleanly pressure, simply by virtue of the fact of not having the best mobility, maybe just not having the best and the quickest little teeny tiny pokes. You can get easily like caught and whiff punished as a result. But I feel like the commitments to side B from Jenny, although, you know, once again, like pretty committal, they did catch a lot of jumps from Poncho. So if Poncho can just sort of find a way around those, it's going to be a little bit of a cleaner game for them. If Jenny XC can just like find, you know, as soon as they do find that in, as soon as they find like, you know, one of the neutral or the floaters, how much can you actually capitalize? How much of your damage output can you actually get out?
It's true. And knowing how well you can maximize your punish game and how consistent you can be with it is so important. Is so important. You know, having a consistent punish game that you can rely on, having a consistent punish game that you can react out of shield with. It's knowing what your best tool is given a situation that you're confronted with.
Yep, absolutely. So going into the next game, I feel like the stage choice, you know, again, like really big. As Sora, I feel like you would often opt for something just a little teeny tiny bit smaller. And Jenny Exia has got to find those edge guards on Cloud.
3, 2, 1,
All right, they'll hop into this game 2 on Kalos. I really don't know what Sora's good stages are just yet, to be honest. I feel like he deals well with more open space to kind of navigate away from these situations. I feel like if you do put him in a very scrappy situation on stages like Smashville, it's not going to pan out too well for him, because I feel like he does much better with having additional... Because he's a character I feel like very heavily based on movement. I feel like the more space that a character of his archetype has, the more expressive he can be with his movement.
And just look at how often Poncho is now punishing Jenny XC through the side Bs. Not a single one has connected thus far. Just dashing and shielding, dashing and shielding. Playing grounded and not committing to jumps is the play.
And we're seeing Jenny try to force their way in with a lot of side Bs, just trying to get these punishes off, but you know, Cloud, very good out of shield punish game in that up smash right there, along with other options like up B. So you have to be really careful when you're hitting Cloud shield.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh.
And
Got a call out there.
Puncher going to be getting that back heel, going to be keeping Jenny locked into the corner. He sets up another juggle, down tilt back heel. It seems like everything that Poncho is going for at this point is connecting.
All right, that was perfect jump spacing right there. A little bit premature on the trigger for Jenny right there. Poncho, just trying to get the get up. I like that blade weave. I just think they did it a little too early right there.
And like a really big thing for Jenny, I just feel like they're just not sitting in shield a lot of times, so that every time that Poncho does opt to swing, neutral or back heel, it's always landing. There are no defensive options.
And again, these thunders are being done way too close in proximity. One thing that I feel like a lot of new Sora players have to navigate through first is when to use those projectiles. You know, they're very... You see a big little indicator right over your character portrait for what button you should press to get that good spell out. And you just have to know what distance to respect before you press that button.
Yeah, at this high percent note, this is where Jenny should be looking to try to find an edge guard in a perfect position to try and call out a double jump, but then just prematurely committing to F tilt, leaving Jenny in so much lag.
Oh, that's going to be leaving Jenny in a whole lot of end lag right there in terms of using that side B. I feel like that side B has to be used sparingly because Poncho, I feel like, is more than caught onto it already. Trying to just finish it all off with their limit cross slash. Not going to get it just yet, though.
Getting another hit of side B. This needs to really be the kill. But a parry on the final hit of up B into an up smash. Beautifully played, and a 3-stock to finish it off.
What a good parry right there from Poncho. Yeah, just seemed to have caught on Jenny's game plan really, really easily. Got those parries out, got that parry out magnificently right there. Parrying the last hit too, having the awareness to do that and then capitalize immediately. I think that says something about what kind of caliber Poncho is as a player in comparison to Jenny in this situation. But you know, Sora, still a relatively new character. People are still I mean, there's so many matchups to figure out in this game with said characters. So in the meantime, just keep throwing stuff at the wall, see what works. You know, I feel like there's a few habits to definitely iron out right there to make this matchup a little bit more safer, particularly. So definitely review the footage if you are Jenny.
Yep, biggest thing the biggest takeaway for Jenny. Oh, that was such a good parry.
Ouch.
I feel like the biggest takeaway for Jenny is going to be like being a little bit more comfortable with your defensive options, with sometimes just sitting in shield, so that you're not always necessarily getting hit by back healers and by neutral healers and down healers and all these different things that Poncho is throwing out there. But then also like understanding like what side B as a tool can do for Sora, right? Side B can like set up really cool tech chases on platforms because it has set knockback. It can be really interesting for edge guarding and getting back onto the stage. To use it in neutral so abundantly, despite the fact that Poncho had already adapted to it, is a bit of a misplay. But with that being said, that's going to be Ryder going up 21-0. I mean, they've already won because the maximum amount of points that Niagara can earn from now on is 16, assuming a double 3-stock. Or 2 sets of a double 3-stock. But with that being said, we're going to see you guys... Wait. It seems like we're not going to be cutting into a break because our next players are ready.
Yeah, there we go. So up next we have for us today, we've got Trexie and Red Saw coming out. So Red Saw, I believe... Oh, we see the characters right here. We've got, Incineroar versus Sora. So another Sora coming out for Niagara University right here. And I don't blame him. I feel like this is going to be a very popular character in the meta for at least the first few weeks he is out. You know, while people just are, do I want to keep playing him? I love the games he's in. I love Disney, etc. So...
But we're already
here for
like
it.
seeing like Red Saw as like a plus Jenny a little bit, right? Like going through a lot more grabs, finding some combos, finding some big hits, and getting the edge guard. There is no way Incineroar is making that back. Wow, beautiful stuff. That is going to be a clean stock for Red Saw.
Yeah, this can be. I'm already liking how Red Saw has been initiating a lot of their neutral interactions with Nair. I feel like Nair is Sora's biggest hitbox when it comes to approaching a lot of the time, and definitely being able to carry Incineroar off stage. That's always an added bonus for any character against Incineroar, just given how lackluster that character's recovery can be at times.
Yeah, now Trexie going to be stuck at the ledge, stuck in the corner, but Dash attacking back on, just catching Red Saw in the middle of an animation. This is going to be the ledge trap here, no double jump. So, all out of landing options.
All right, Red Saw making their way back to stage right now, and I love that. I feel like Fair, though, would have been able to finish the stock right off there for Trexie, but still doing a really good job of just keeping Red Saw off stage right now. Tries to go for the edge guard. I feel like that's something we don't really typically see against characters like Sora.
Absolutely. There's a lot that you need to respect, especially as Incineroar, but the forward throw is going to be able to do it this time around. So they're going to be like having a similar weight to Zelda, so pretty light.
Red Saw trying to go for that super hard read right there on the F smash. I don't blame him. A lot of characters tend to roll, when a fresh stock has been dropped right there.
I think there's a lot to note about that decision from Trexie. I like that idea to go for a back throw instead of like your typical combo down throw, just to be able to get some stage control. So prioritizing that over damage was definitely a good move.
All right, though we see Red Saw out here. Thundaga is up on deck right here. And going for these down smashes. Down smash, one of, I believe, Sora's most lagless smash attack. But, don't want to be, it is still a smash attack, so you don't want to be using it too brazenly, especially in the face of a character like Incineroar, who can really maximize massive punishes on you.
And neutral be such a deceptive move. Gets the late hit of the downer. Red Saw gonna be forced to up B. Side B still stuck at the ledge. I like that dash back, but Trexie did not fully anticipate how long the hitbox was out. We're going right into the F smash and losing the stock.
And we're looking at what could potentially be Niagara University's very first points within this week and also within the last 2 weeks of this league right here. So this is pretty huge for them because, even though they have lost this crew battle overall, the points will still matter for playoffs at the end of the season. So it's, even if the chips are down, you're not out yet. You can still maximize the amount of benefits you'll have postseason.
I like how much Trexie is respecting Red Saw's recovery now. Just sitting in shield, waiting for all those up airs to come out. But no, I was going to say they might have not been able to make it back, but still able to do so.
It's Sora. I think this character can legitimately make it back from anywhere, given if they just double jump first, then up B, then side B. Like this character's probably one of the best recoveries in Smash as a franchise, I'd say.
But now needs to find a way to be able to get off of the corner, and that was active. Pause. We're gonna need a replay on that. Sora's F smash was already all the way back.
Oh yeah.
How did that hit?
So you do have a 1 frame window to catch neutral get-ups on every character in this game. So if you do deploy a correctly timed smash attack or any attack in general, you should be able to get it right there. It is late. It definitely was it's a huge smash attack being let off.
How?
The rip
How is
right
that still
there.
active?
Well, I'll tell you. So forward smash is active for.
I'm looking at it as well. It is
trying to look at it
active
right
between
now.
16 and 20. I feel like that was on the last possible active frame.
So that was 4 frames then. That was a 4 frame window. Sora also does have a lingering hitbox around his pelvis area for some reason. Don't know why. That's just how they made him.
The pelvis hitbox.
Yes, the pelvis hitbox. So yeah, he has the Keyblade hitbox that initially stays up, as well as the pelvis hitbox. The initial hit, and then I don't really know the difference between red and purple hitboxes in this game, but I know that it's differentiate weak and strong hits throughout everything, I believe. But yeah, for some reason they gave my man's that pelvis hitbox. I don't know. I'm here for it though.
Sure, why not? But that was like on the last possible active frame as well, right? But if it is active on like 16 through 20, that is a total of like 5 frames because
that looks good. No, the initial hurtbox shift does not. The activity doesn't really depend on. It's when Sora does pivot forward that hitbox mainly lingers. Like,
yeah,
it does. You're forgetting that it is a smash attack, so there is 16 frames of startup on that move. So even though he already threw it out, that's a lot of frames to be throwing out before the initial hit actually lands on the opponent. It is a 4 frame window, but still 16 frames, it's a lot. That's a lot of frames right there. It's not quick.
5. 16,
frame?
17, 18, 19, and 20. All those get included.
Oh, I
so
can't
it's not
count.
just
That's
subtraction.
cool. That's great.
No, you're absolutely right. If you were to
can't
look
do
at
that.
frame data as is, and it says 16 through 20, everybody's immediate assumption is going to be, oh,
Math.
this is active
60
20
minus 20.
6. Yeah, 20 minus 16 is just going to be 40. But it's not.
Losing
Frame
my
data
mind.
is a little funky.
It is a little funky, but really good F smash. Regardless, is what this all comes back to, right there. And getting Niagara on the board in Red Saw. So and that's only game 1 too. If Trexie wants to make this back, that's 2 games that has to be mounted up, which is it's gonna be tough. You know, Incineroar not the greatest character, but there are good ways to play him. In this matchup though, where your opponent is so evasive, that's tough.
I feel like a lot of times, though, one big issue, and this is a common underlying issue of everybody at every level of play, is your double jumps. Trexie was actually throwing out maybe a couple of double jumps, and then they ended up just not being able to make it back onto the stage. As Incineroar, your double jump is your lifeblood. You live and die by your double jump. If you don't have a double jump and you're off stage, you are as good as dead. So you got to hold on to it for dear life.
All right, though, we getting back into it right here. Gonna see what stage is picked right here for this next one. And then again, we actually do have the everything going on right here. And again, I think we're going to Kalos. I believe it looks as our technical director said, Devin 3000. It's a Kalos kind of day, and I agree. You know, it's a little rainy, it's a little gloomy outside. I feel like the coloring of Kalos fits in perfectly right here.
Yeah, okay, we got off to a really good start, just getting Trexie stuck in a corner, but that side B, a little bit of an awkward choice, right? When you have like those platforms blocking them.
I think the adjustments that Trexie mainly needed to meet is conserving that recovery. You know, trying to maximize your tools before you use them, and just being careful when it comes to recovering or getting off of ledge versus Red Saw, because it seems that Red Saw has very good patience in a lot of these moments, and sometimes you need to have a little bit more patience than your opponent if their tools are a little more versatile than yours.
Dashing back, trying to find this down tilt, but still gets a dash attack ultimately, and now Trexie just controlling the ledge. That's exactly what you want, but keeps on going for like forwarders or uppers instead of like a neutraler. A forwarder, which would send Red Saw off stage.
Throwing upward, Sora is one of the lighter characters in the roster currently. It is Kalos though, so he's going to be surviving for a little bit longer there, but maybe just didn't want to use the Alolan Whip to finish off that stock just yet. What a parry right there.
Oh, but what an F smash nonetheless. That's going to be Red Saw actually making a bit of a comeback on that first stock. But you know, it's still going to be even at the end of the day. I also just feel like a lot of the times Trexie's low percent combos are a little bit more consistent than some of vice versa, excuse me. Red Saw's low percent combos are a little bit more consistent than Trexie's.
Oh yeah. Right, big F smash right there from Red Saw. Looking at kind of close this out 2-0 with just how patient they've been. And a lot of one thing I'm noticing is that Red Saw is definitely favoring F smash because it's worked so much for them within these earlier stages of the set. But I feel like Trexie's slowly becoming privy to it, so definitely need to see a little restraint from that because Incineroar's got some crazy punish game.
By the way, I always like making a note of this. Sora has the most DLC dash attack I have ever seen. All other dash attacks that are like that, they're not that active. I don't know who made the Sora's dash attack that active, but it is unlike any other in the game.
It's like Mario's.
Nope, it's more active, and it's got a hitbox all over it. But that being said, Red Saw getting a beautiful ledge trap, finding another F smash to be able to close it out, and just looking a lot like game 1.
Get what you pay for, I guess. But Red Saw looking good in these later moments. I like how they've been stacking Thunderga. It's just they haven't been able to really throw it out too early or early enough just yet to get substantial punishes off of it. But I'm loving the stalling on the recoveries. I'm loving the Blitz Sagas over ledge right here. Oh, Sora's so light though. That's crazy.
That's always going to be like your big underlying weakness. Even though floatiness doesn't necessarily imply that you have really low weight, most floaties just kind of tend to be a little bit on the lighter side, right? But Trexie, finding a big side B. As soon as you start connecting those side Bs with Incin, you know that like you're starting to get in your opponent's head a little bit.
Yeah, that's where the fear factor really mounts up too, because where one comes, usually more come after that. Your opponent starts to respect you just a little bit more. They know that move hits really hard and it could potentially lead into stock. Kill confirm right there. So Red Saw definitely going to have to respect it a little bit more as he's dwindling into these higher percentages.
I like the patience from Trexie. I feel like Trexie can also like jump in to get a little revenge going. But big Alolan Whip, that's going to be Red Saw off stage. Is this going to be a big hit? Is this going to be a kill?
Oh boy. And honestly, one big hit can spell death for either of these characters at this point. 89, I believe. With that much range on Incineroar, I think one Alolan Whip is definitely going to be good. So we haven't really also been seeing too many edge guards from Red Saw as we were seeing earlier into the set. So I don't know if that's just like a respect thing or no clue actually.
Yep, maybe playing a little bit too passively in this instance. I like the bit of a plank, and the one time Red Saw sticks to shield, Trexie mixes up with a dash attack. Go! Oh my god!
Just let it rip. Why not?
Oh jeez.
Oh my god.
They're swinging.
Oh, they're definitely swinging. Oh my god, how did that miss? Both these guys so nervous right now, fishing for their kill confirms right here. Trexie gonna navigate right through the Thundaga and the neutral B. It is active on both sides of Incineroar, and the initial hit is pretty powerful as well. I don't think Red Saw was ready for that whatsoever.
That was pretty funny. That caught me off guard. So I feel like at the end both were like scrambling a little bit to find a kill. Like a lot of F smashes, a lot of Alolan Whips, a lot of like really panicky spot dodges. What either of them needed to do, they just needed a second where they both waited. They just needed to wait for the opponent's option and then trust their instincts to react. F tilt, up smash, down smash, anything. You can punish your spot dodge, just wait.
It's true. Yeah, we're seeing so much mileage off of F Smash early game for Red Saw, but I think Trexie learned to respect it as the game progressed just a little bit. And ultimately just had enough composure in the end to find that whiff punish. Kind of scary situation for both of them, honestly. I feel like that game could have legitimately gone either way.
Yeah, but we are going to be going into game number 3. Red Saw was playing so well, and so they got a little bit scared. They needed to go for more edge guards and less like panicky kill options at the end. Other than that, I feel like it can still be anybody's set.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is the second to last set of this block as well, so we're going to see what happens from here on out. You know, not looking too bad for Niagara. I think Red Saw is more than capable of closing out this next game to at least get some more points on the board for Niagara. But man, Rider University looking pretty stacked this week, honestly. Looking quite polished in terms of what players they're presenting right here. And I'm not seeing any connection issues as well from them, so it seems like they've ironed that out just a little bit.
I think this is really funny. I'm checking the chat in the captains, like the team captains going at it against one another, and so we saw the bans from Rider University, so no Kalos, FDO Yoshis, and our producer just immediately is like, "What? Ban Kalos?" and influences the decision. The captain is apologizing in the chat saying, "Sorry, man, wasn't my choice to the producer." I don't know what's going on, but I love it.
And I dig that ban too, honestly, from Trexie. That stage looked mighty difficult at times for them to really get any ground made up against Red Saw. But remember that's a stage that Trexie won on, and Red Saw counterpicked there. So I don't know. I don't... Or rather, that's the stage where Trexie... That's where Trexie counterpicked to that game. So why would you ban a stage that you just counterpicked to?
Wouldn't be able to tally up.
It do not make sense.
Yo, we got the DQ app playing. Life's good. This is a sick game to the music choice.
We live in a society.
Okay, game 3 between the two. Red Saw right now. Just gonna be trying to find a way to be able to get in on this. Trying to find a big combo starter, and that should have been the opening on the Revenge. But maybe like a little bit like too much analysis paralysis in the moment.
So no, Trexie looking mighty good so far. I mean, not really taking too much damage, just kind of staying a lot more calm. We're seeing a lot less rolls in these new interactions, and the patience there from Trexie, I think, is looking so much better this time around. Is that a stock? Holy moly.
Not quite, yeah, just like 2% more, and that definitely would have been able to take it. And not opting for the side B, Red Saw probably thinking they snapped on.
Yeah, that's tough. I feel like as a default, you should always try to side B there. I don't know if you can buffer an attack button from ledge if you use B. I don't think you can. That would be really dumb if the game was programmed that way. So You can never rest on your laurels just too much when you're recovering, you know, especially if you've got a tool that can literally auto snap you to the ledge pretty handedly.
That side B just gonna be setting Glad into such a nasty position. Air dodges off. You got a side B to make it back on. Got the angles on point, but then side B's into Ensign.
That up smash was really strong enough to take that stock off. I'm surprised there, honestly. It is Battlefield, and I know Sora's light, and there's a lot of rage, but still, that was an interesting option that Trexie picked right there that ended up working.
You know what? I like that Trexie just fully committed. It was like, yeah, I'm gonna hold it on the B. They could have just done it in place. They could have faded back out and not gotten hit by the F smash in that moment. But this game, compared to the last, Trexie's ledge trapping is so solid.
Oh, yeah. And again, we're not seeing too many offstage edge guards from Red Saw. You know, they were getting a few good ones game one of this set, and then now it's completely just cut that off cold turkey. And now it's opting for up smash is the taunt actually coming out from Trexie right there as Red Saw whiffs that F smash full stage.
Yeah, Red Saw's across the stage pressing some buttons. I can press buttons too. Look at me. But I feel like Trexie has the good idea with like shielding a lot of Sora's buttons, but then not fully holding and committing to shield, and trying to maybe punish when Sora can still like cancel it into neutral or a jab.
Another Alolan Whip coming out right there from Trexie and just looking better and better each time. It seems that they've caught on, I think, to Red Saw being a little too antsy in a lot of these situations right here.
Trexie just dashing in and out, sitting in shield, playing really grounded, getting a couple of hits of up air. This really could be the stock, but the beefy uppy over the ledge is a really good idea on behalf of Red Saw.
I love the knowledge there to know that, hey, I might not be able to whiff punish this down smash right here, so I'm just going to charge right through it and see what I can get past that. And sure enough, Red Saw rolled away almost immediately and found themselves in that grab. Trexie going to be wrapping up that game with a bow on it. Wow. That was so good.
There's a lot of adaptations made, especially between Game 2 and Game 3. Trexie's ledge trapping, I feel like was really, really tightened up. Found a lot more down tilts, found a lot more hits at the edge of the stage. And specifically, Trexie started knowing what buttons they needed to respect and what buttons they didn't need to. Right, so instead of like constantly like whiffing your next immediate out of shield option, Trexie has started opting just like, you know, hey, I have enough time here, I can press this button. I don't have enough time here, and maybe playing a little bit like softer with like tilts and grabs instead of like smash attacks.
And it seems like to end off this storied series right here, we are going to be having both team captains in TLA and Crisis fighting off against each other. So it's going to be interesting. You know, team captains, I feel like sometimes are the strongest players on these schools, or just at least those who are most invested a lot of the time, but you never know how this one's going to go. I believe, if I recall correctly, I believe TLA is a Sonic player. And Crisis, I'm going to say, is a Min player. So we're going to be seeing some good Sonic Min gameplay out here today.
That's not a matchup I've actually ever seen, I think.
Really? Sonic Min?
Sonic Min? Maybe the last time I saw it was like...
I have either. Which
last time was like commentating like a clip to like some sort of a Wi-Fi tournament with maybe Sonic's involved or, you know, Slamjamicus, like somebody.
Yeah,
you know.
It's been a minute. It's weird because there's such a saturation of both of those characters in the meta right now. I feel like there's so many Sonic players out there, and definitely a ton of Min players.
Really, I feel like Min, or maybe at least in our region, has like maybe started to like fall off.
Yeah, no, I mean, we only really have one on Long Island. I know DeBuzz lives, you know, around the city as well. I don't really know of any city Min players that are like really thriving right now. So yeah, definitely kind of difficult. But scrap that entirely. We're going to be having Mythra versus Sonic. So this is going to be a pretty fast-paced matchup. That's already a stock.
Yep, that's Mythra. Not a whole lot they can say there, but Teal, what a dominant start for them thus far. It's going to be up being back on nice and safely. I really like that homing attack as just a way to whiff punish and wait for your opponent just to mash out like an F tilt or something. It's so good.
As far as Sonic players go too, as opposed to most Sonic players I see, TLA is actually fairly aggressive, almost always pushing the offense a lot of the time, but sometimes that can get you a little cooked, especially against a character like Pyra, who's got these such strong single hit moves in her arsenal.
tries to go for the F smash 2 frame. I like the idea there, but I feel like often just going for like an up B stage spike with spring is going to be the most consistent way to be able to actually parameter. But yo, those homing attacks, I haven't seen a lot of edge guards like that lately. It's such a good way just to be able to autopilot a lot of recoveries and release it, like based on who you're fighting.
I almost get scared because, like, what if that whiffs? Like, I know Sonic can maybe make it back, but he does have a little bit of time of recovery before he gets out of it. That's a double jump catch right there from TLA. Ooh, still no double jumps. So yeah, that's going to be the stock right there.
Yeah, that side B definitely would have been death as is. TLA just had to make sure they were finishing their food with the spring, and so they did. Only at 35%, getting up right into the side B. I feel like Crisis has just not been able to keep TLA off of them.
That jab, quick aside, that jab is like so raw. She just shoots fire out of her hands and then does like one final blast out of her like right hand. That's it. It's tight. It's so cool. Oh my god, that's an edge guard. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen a Pyro player do that before.
That's the best way to do it. That was so good.
It just lingered over the ledge very, very well right there. A lot of Pyro players will opt to just shoot it right over the ledge because it'll catch a lot of get-ups if mistimed right there. That was really, really well timed by Crisis, but TLA ultimately just doing so well in these aggressive punishes, and Crisis not really conserving their double jump too often. You saw a lot of edge guards there, Dara.
Pyro Mythica doesn't give you many openings. There is only one really big one, and that is, oh, they are off stage, can you kill them? And TLA killed them to the best of their ability.
Yeah.
Every single time that Crisis was off stage, it seemed like they just kept on meeting their fate over and over again.
It killed the heck out of them, honestly. Like, they were dead, and then they were dead every single time. That's wild. And yeah, another double jump right there. I like that dare, though. Really good dare and awareness from Crisis right there to get that one off right there. That dare hits in such range. It's actually insane. This was good, too. No double jump. I don't know where it was. And then just gone again right there. Bye-bye.
I love the zoom-ins on a moving clip,
Those are
too.
good. I'm here for it.
Yeah. It's like watching The Office, and the gym just looks at you.
Here's basic Fang moment number 800. I actually love The Office.
You seem the type. You seem the type. I'm looking at you right now. That is an Office enjoyer. Devin, I don't know what it will take, but we need to get slower. Like we need to get like immediate zoom-ins on like characters that like still like tracks them. I don't know what it'll take, but I think it'll be the funniest thing imaginable.
That it'll be funny.
That sounds pretty good, right?
I just love tracking. You have to somehow track their movement frame by frame and like lock in on it. But I don't know if that's like a post-production thing or like a pre-production.
Listen, the thing is, Devin has already made all of these tools that we're seeing right now on his own. With the replay function, we have a beautiful replay controller. If anybody can do it, Devin can. So I will gas up Devin and his ability to make the most silly stream tools possible.
So true, bestie.
I don't know how I feel about, you know what? Game number 2. TLA. Going up against Crisis. TLA played a matchup really well. Kept on getting those edge guards against Crisis. That's exactly how you got to play the matchup. That's exactly what you need against Pyro Mythica. They need to be much more conservative with those double jumps.
And Niagara definitely in a crisis right now. And in the crisis of potentially going down 30 points to 2. You know, something that I feel like the gameplay adjustments are definitely minute for Crisis. It's just conserving that double jump. It's very difficult since Pyro and Mythra are very edge-guardable characters by nature, but there's still ways to mix up your recovery. I don't think we've seen a single air dodge to ledge from Crisis. Is that another stock? Oh, God.
No, not quite yet, but Crisis getting that dash attack, but once again, just like not anticipating how plus on hit or minus they are.
TLA with these whiff punishes has been... I mean, Sonic has a lot of speed at his disposal, but I haven't seen, like, really solid whiff punishing on Pyro Mythra like this before, honestly. Like, this is a character that's usually whiff punishing you a lot of the time.
Yeah. Or maybe getting a little bit too ambitious with, like, just charging side B there. Good patience at the ledge, though, that time around. I like that TLA is respecting these buttons, just, you know, not opting to take any risks at all. But that F tilt at that spacing was definitely punishable.
All right, really good back throw right there from TLA. You know, I just like how TLA has just been forcing Crisis off stage every single time. Like, it's getting him so much mileage. Though, you know, Pyramithra are living pretty long right here. Like, I feel like most of these neutral interactions have been going to TLA. Really good. Wow, that up smash was great. That's so good.
Now TLA once again going to be just holding a lead, so there is that pressure on behalf of Crisis. How do I actually initiate? How do I get these big hits in when TLA is just running away, charging down B, and there it is. There is a punishable range in which Sonic is probably not going to hit you before you hit them. If you can bait it out when you're close enough to them, you could get the kill.
These are so goofy. It's like Pyre's just getting lightly punched in the back of the head. But oh my god! Bruh.
That was kind of insane. I would have got a replay of that ASAP.
That was wild. TLA looking to finish this quick. Put Crisis 6 feet under immediately. And
oh, that dash back. Oh, that dash back was excellent.
God.
TLA waited just a little teeny tiny bit before the dash back, so Crisis could not react to it and change the drift of the downhill, which would have still hit them. No double jump off stage. That's going to be a death. That's going to be an L.
Oh my god,
and
the disrespect.
TLA. Wow.
I'd say I don't typically say this for Sonic players, but I think I'm a TLA fan after today.
That was pretty sick.
That was a hot Sonic right there. He saw a lot of crazy punishes right there. To disrespect too, he definitely deliberately waited to let that spring off real low as well.
Ideally, TLA wanted the down air ultimately. Like
Just wanted to rub it in.
Yeah. It was a pretty resounding W for Niagara University. Going to be taking it like 31-2, if I'm not mistaken. 2 stocks from this game, and then, you know, an extra 2 points for winning the set overall. But I want to see how TLA played this. Oh my god, that was so clean.
Dear
that
Lord.
little bit of a wait too. Pop.
That was like really good syncing with the music unintentionally. This dare, that was insane. Even the swap invincibility couldn't save Crisis right there because of the little stall Sonic does before that down air becomes deployed. These zoom-ins are so funny, by the way. Just like, look at Mithra. Mithra's dead.
We need to get the zoom-in that is the exact same, like, pan rate. I'm not using the word pan correctly.
The Office zoom-in.
Whatever it is exactly like on The Office.
The Office.
We just need, like on The Office. With that being said, that is going to conclude Niagara University going up against Niagara, 31-2, and almost a perfect sweep. Niagara University looks really, really strong this season. We are going to be moving on to our next 2 schools for today. I believe we are going to be seeing St. Peter's University going up against Marist College. With that being said, we're going to cut to a quick little break until then, so don't go anywhere quite yet. We'll see you guys in a bit. We might be back with an interview, actually. Totally forgot. We might. We'll see. See you guys in a couple of minutes.